Yeah. Okay. Man up. Let's do it. Well, it's a new day and a new show coming in a way that you never heard before. Cause we some real men that put God first, family second, but sports is a close third. What can I say? It's the love of the game. It's in our blood, embedded in our DNA. And from a young age until our dying day, we love it when we hear them say, "You can go all the way." So when they score a goal or go hard in the paint or knock it out of the park, we're here to give the play-by-play, not just playing good, but also living right. We're here to bring you sports peppered with the light in Christ. So we gather any reason, playoffs or preseason, living rooms or sports bars, tailgating from our cars, parking lots or the church house. Tell you what it's all about. A group of friends or just our kids, not just for fun. It's what we live. You need the lowdown here. It's what we give. Turn your speakers up. We about to go in. Every topic, every game. Get ready. Let's go. You're tuned into the Man Up Sports Show. All my real men, please stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up. Well, all my real men, please stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up. It's time to man up.
It's time to man up. You are now tuned in to the Man Up Sports Show. Thanks for checking us out again this week. What is up? I'm your host, Drea Allen, and we have a very, very special show for you this week. Pretty interesting topics. We're going to be talking about Mike Vick, MVP or no. Do you buy it? You digging it? You dishing it? What's good? We got a special guest joining us today, ex or former shooting guard from the Toledo Rockets, my boy, Dave Jones. What's up, bruh?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Good to have you with us, man. Me and D go all way back, way back. So he's gonna come in, talk shop a little bit with us today. Your boy Big West is out, man. He's sick or whatever. He's missing the show. So, yeah, boo. Jay Woody's booed him. Big West, man, hurry up, get back. We know you being a dad. We miss you, bruh. Get back on the show. So, D, I know that you a Pittsburgh native, man, and but Mike Vick is the MVP, not Roethlisberger. How you feeling about that?
You know what? I'm fine with that right now. I mean, everybody's talking about, giving this man, not giving him a second chance, but I think this is a perfect example of redemption right here. And like we were talking before, I think definitely he's an MVP candidate. And if he's not the top one, then he's the second best or 1A. If we go by statistics, you'd have to say Phillip Rivers. But by most valuable player to somebody's team, hands down, it's Michael Vick.
I wouldn't disagree with that, man. Are you secretly, though, like, kind of wishing that y'all could get MV7 in a Steelers uniform? Maybe get rid of Roethlisberger?
Oh, yeah. You know how I feel about Roethlisberger.
So, let's talk about that, man. How does the city of Pittsburgh really feel about Ben Roethlisberger, man? Are y'all tired of him or what?
Well, the thing is, all this stuff that's just coming out in the news has been going on for years. He's been a jerk for a while.
Really?
This isn't nothing new.
So what we're seeing in the news that's playing out, you're saying that he's been up to those tricks for a long time. I mean, with the allegations with women or what?
The allegations with women, just his holier-than-thou, elitist attitude, that's been going on for a while.
So this is not news to the city of Pittsburgh. It's just news to everybody else.
Exactly.
I've never heard anybody who had a Super Bowl quarterback say that they wanted to get rid of him, though. But y'all willing to trade him in right now?
For Vic right now? Right now? That's not even a no-brainer. I'll get the U-Haul for him.
You'll pack his stuff up?
I'll pack it up. You know how we do with quarterbacks in Pittsburgh.
So, Mike Vick, let's talk about a real quarterback that can play. MVP quarterbacks, right? It's all about their impact on their team, on their city, in the locker room, on the field. Does anybody have a bigger impact in a city than Michael Vick? I mean, his impact here in Atlanta was, larger than life. Can you even remember a quarterback that had an impact that big?
Well, The only quarterback I can think of that had that type of impact, and it was for the simple fact that he was Michael Vick before Michael Vick came, but not to the degree, was Randall Cunningham.
So we talking about Randall Cunningham in Philly?
Yes, Randall Cunningham in Philly.
Randall Cunningham in Philly. He was nice.
So when Michael Vick came, he created the evolution because you got a quarterback that can run a sub 4.3 and got a laser arm. I love Randall Cunningham. He had a nice arm, but he wasn't running a 4.3. He was running sub 4.4. But Michael Vick changed the game. I mean, they were comparing how he was changing the game to how Jordan changed basketball.
So just in case you guys are just tuning in, we're talking about the Michael Vick MVP discussion. If you guys have not seen or been hiding under a rock or something, he is completely lighting it up right now. Michael Vick, the number 1 draft pick in 2001 for the Atlanta Falcons, did his college ball at Virginia Tech, was outstanding at Virginia Tech. And this whole redemption story is because he was actually convicted for running a dogfighting operation and missed, the 2 full seasons of football behind that?
2 seasons, yes.
So,
2 seasons.
Did jail time, ended up having to file bankruptcy. And I would say this, paid his debt to society, right?
Agreed.
I think he paid his debt. I think nobody...
I think he paid a little more than the debt, to be honest with you.
No, I think the issue with people is that the pictures and the description of everything that happened with the dogs it was really, really heinous. It was unbelievably cruel, and I think you have a whole sector of people who feel like that, dogs and humans are equal. I think that's a totally different conversation, and don't necessarily want to get into it there, but that was the deal. He spent basically 2 years behind bars, missed, 2 NFL seasons, close to 2 years behind bars, for being convicted with this dogfighting ring. Part of it to me, D, and I don't know, I don't want to be one to try to make excuses for anybody, but to me, watching the whole dogfighting case go down, I immediately felt like that part of Vic's problem was the same problems that his brother Marcus had, that they were just surrounded by an unbelievably bad group of people.
Well, you have to look at it like this. And Dre, you know how it is. When you get a star athlete that comes up in the so-called hood and you make it big, in the hood, it's always frowned upon if you leave your friends and don't come back. And there's always the term that's said, you keeping it real, you know where home is. Sure, you know where home is, but in the same sentence, you got to separate yourself from, certain obstacles that are going to bring you back down. That goes for anybody. I don't care if you're an NFL player or you're a Fortune 500 person. You can't have the same element around you that is going to bring you down once you get to a certain level. Now, if that's so-called not keeping it real, then so be it. But you got to look out for self first.
I absolutely agree. I guess, and I don't even necessarily know that it's called looking out for self. I think that we all know, D. I mean, you and I both, from the hood, respectively, from our own respective hoods or whatever. But that the more you see, the more you get outside of the hood, the more you learn. The more you learn, the more you grow because you're exposed to different things. And people could say what they want about that, but I don't necessarily see anything wrong with exercising the knowledge that was given to you about what you see in life.
Sure.
I mean,
I agree.
And some of that stuff, I think it's not necessarily going back to where you came from, but depositing what you learned. That look, man, this is how life was for us because we were limited in this circle that we were in, but I've been able to travel and see this, and everybody else doesn't live like that.
Well, it's a mindset that keeps us in the hood to say, this is all we know, this is all we're going to achieve, these 15 or 20 blocks in the hood. And when you have that mindset stuck into you, And the rappers sometimes are responsible for this as well, where they say, a lot of rappers may say, if you can't rap or if you don't have a wicked jump shot, you're not going to make it out. And that's ridiculous.
That is definitely what's so. I mean, here's my issue with rap, D. And I want to say this: people who know me now know that I really don't listen to any secular music, right? And that was just by choice. I don't think necessarily listening to secular music is sinful, or that people are going to hell or anything crazy like that. So if you're hearing that and you're thinking that, that's not what I'm saying. I made a choice specifically for me not to listen to it because I wanted to listen to things that motivated me in a positive way. So I changed the music that I listen to. I listen to Christian hip hop now, right? But one of my issues with hip hop, and you and I have talked about it, Big West and I have talked about it, and even before I got saved, we discussed it. It's not what they talk about. It's the fact that so much of the hood and selling drugs and being a pimp and this, that, and the other is glorified when we're old enough and grown enough to know that that's not, number one, that's not the life that they're really living. And number two, for the majority of people, that life leads to death and prison.
Exactly. Or multiple kids.
Right. It doesn't lead to the life that they try to make it out to be. And that is my issue with hip hop. And I think people say that, oh, we're just, we're rapping about what we've seen. We're rapping about what we live. Really, we've come to find out all of them didn't live that.
Exactly.
And once you get older and you get money and you grow, I mean, you see Jay-Z is worth how much? 500 million? 400 million?
Yep.
And 50 Cent has made how much money? These guys have opened up companies, ran successful businesses. We're talking about multi-million dollars over and over and over again. Why not teach that?
I totally agree. And, like you said, we've talked about this time and time again, the formula, and even with the formula that they used in regards to, by all means necessary, selling drugs just to make it and then make it big in the hip-hop scene, I think that's great that you made it out of your so-called element. Sure, that's great, but the message you're preaching to the younger generation, okay, if you sell these drugs until you can get on, you don't have to go to college, or you don't have to work hard, or you don't have to do this. And, that's still not the message we're looking for. Now, the work ethic, I think it's great, from a 50 Cent to a Jay-Z. The work ethic, the Puffy, all of them, and Puffy's not really a drug guy, but all of those guys, their work ethic has made them stand above and beyond.
And I absolutely agree with that. Not to cut you off, D. I absolutely agree with that. I just don't understand why there aren't more songs that talk about that. Every song that I hear is, this is how much money I got, this is how much money you don't, and I'm better than you because of that. Not, hey, bro, if you work hard, and what I mean by grinding is this. This is how I established part ownership in the Nets. This is how I started Sean John. We never hear that song.
Exactly.
So we're going to take a quick break. We're going to wrap this thing up. When we come back, we're going to get back to talking about Mike Vick, Tony Dungy, Don McNabb. Don't miss out. Our boy David Jones on with us today. Keep it locked.